pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Davis.
Here.
Parker.
Here.
Stoops.
Here.
Weaver.
Here.
Wilson.
Here.
Sukasar.
Here.
Sukas W.
Yes.
All right. Non-agenda items from the sidelines, I have none. Comments from city administration, Donna?
No.
Sure? Nothing? Can't think of anything? You feel? Nothing? All right. Oh. Well, Bart's not, he's,
You didn't go, I didn't.
yeah. I don't know where Mitch is. You know what, let's, well, we can always move this down, move E down until he shows up.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't show up, we'll move it to next week. Is that okay with you guys?
That's fine.
E, item E on the agenda.
Okay.
So I guess item E will be floating on this agenda somehow, so adoption or amendment of the agenda.
So change to make a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
Support.
Parker.
Yes.
Stoops.
Yes.
Weaver.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Sukasar.
Yes.
Sukas W.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Does anybody have an extra ink pen? Mine doesn't write.
I do.
Thank you.
Oh, that really has come on the phone.
No, it wasn't. Look at roll call.
No, he was
Right.
here. I meant to tell you about that. That was wrong.
All right,
Okay.
hopefully you've all had a chance to go over the regular meeting minutes of March 4th, 2014. Only change I have is the fact that I was here.
Yeah. My name shouldn't be on there as chair of the meeting.
So,
Dan chaired that meeting. I chaired the two before, but,
Yeah.
so that's the.
Can
only
I
change.
get a motion to accept those minutes?
I'll make that motion. Support.
Stoops.
Yes.
Weaver.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Sukasar.
Yes.
Sukas W.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Parker.
Yes. Can I get a motion to accept communication?
Okay.
We have another pen.
Yeah. Oh, there is
There's
none.
none. Yeah, that's good, sorry. Unfinished business, we've got police department quotes for the transmission.
Wow.
Well, I got a quote from Frank's Transmission, and the used transmission for parts and labor is $1,400, and a reconditioned is anywhere from $1,400 to $1,600 plus labor.
You mean a new one? It's 14.
Reconditioned, so it's like a rebuilt.
Okay.
I got a quote from Fred Randy Ford, which is over $2,400 for the rebuilt and just over $1,500 for the used transmission. I guess my concern with
A 12,000-mile warranty.
is that, let alone the amount of money that we've already put into the car. If we choose not to fix it, to resale on that car, we would maybe get $1,000 out of it. We have to remove all the equipment in the car. The company that we do use for the graphics and installation would charge anywhere from $250 to $350 depending on how much equipment's in there. The sales manager at Shepherd's, which is where we have all our car service, said that if we wanted to sign the title over to him, he would take everything out of the car for no charge.
And what will you say anything for the car? Nothing. You just take it
He was
out,
gonna take the car for parts.
just for parts.
So it's just a,
Really, would we really utilize that car that much if we did repair the transmission or not?
What would it be
It would
worth
only
with
be
the
used
repaired transmission?
for, what's that?
What would it be worth with the repaired transmission? Are we throwing good money?
Yeah,
It's
that's
been nowhere.
that's kind of my question. Are would we better just to get rid of it?
The
or-
only thing that, I mean, we could probably get if we fix it, 3,000. We still have to take all the equipment out though. So we're still looking at another fee on that. I have a bill here for them actually doing the diagnosis on the car plus having it towed. So we still owe another $167 to Shepherd's.
And if you told, and did Shepherd's give a quote on the transmission?
Yes.
What was that?
What was the last
The
one we
used
got
was
last week?
1562.
How much?
1562.
Oh,
50, oh, right here, yeah.
And then the
that's right,
rebuilt
50.
was 16.
Okay.
I guess the only benefit of Shepherd's having it signed over is it's already there.
It's there, or if you took it someplace else.
We're gonna have to have another.
So if you're
tow.
gonna do anything with transmission, you better just leave it where it is. Otherwise, you're not, it would cost you more
To tow it.
yeah, to tow it and get it someplace else, so you better just leave it where it is.
What kind of warranty? Just
Um,
a 30 day?
12 years,
12.
12,000, or
Yeah,
two,
they're all
or 1 year, 12,000
different.
miles for the used one. Is what I saw on that.
And I mean, oh, you said 1 year or 12,000? I mean, there's no way if we're just using it for school that it'd even get 12,000 miles.
Yeah, but if you get out of the year and, I mean,
Right, Frank's has a
Oh.
30-day warranty.
I'm thinking we might wanna just call, talk to Shepherd and see if he'll waive the tow and the diagnostic and, sign a title over to him, have him strip it.
let's see if he'll negotiate that out. That might be a good idea.
That way it's
Whatever
just-
we currently owe him, he just dismiss, and then, take the title and give us all the parts. You know,
And we probably could sell some of the parts. I don't know, if we can do an
Well,
eBay account to sell some of it.
Will some of those parts go on the one we're getting, or it's a different car?
Some of the lights will.
So some, you
um,
could utilize some of the.
Yes, yes.
Well,
what do you think we
I'm-
should, as department head, what's your opinion?
I guess the only way that I see it as a benefit is that the school would have, or our school liaison would have that card.
Right.
But I don't think it's financially a smart decision
To keep it.
to keep it.
that's kind of how.
I mean, at this point, it's kind of a money pit,
Yeah, yeah.
so.
Well, then, if, I guess if it's not Shepherd's, right?
Shepherd's, yes.
If they would, take all the parts off for what you want, plus,
Void
absorb
that.
that bill,
Okay.
that might be the best way to do it.
Anybody else think, have any thoughts? Well, can I get a motion to, if Shepherd will absorb that bill and remove the parts for free and give it back to us, that we sign the title over to him? Anybody make that motion?
I'll make a motion.
Support.
Weaver,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Lukasar,
Yes.
Lucas W.
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Stoops.
Yes.
All right. Next is new business, resolution for spring burning. Basically, we want to start spring burning from April 13th, 2014 through May 18th, 2014. So, anybody have any questions on that?
No, it's
What was
something we
the
do
start date?
something we do every year.
April 13th, 2014 through May 18th, 2014. And it's for brush and clippings and tree trimmings and dead grass and leaves. No tires or anything else like that.
If we can get underneath the snow to get it out of there.
Exactly.
Well, I'm hoping by April 13th.
Can I get a
I
motion
do too.
to approve this?
I'll make a motion that we approve the resolution.
Anybody support?
I'll support it.
All right.
Burning from April 15th to May 18th.
Wilson, Lukasar,
Yes.
Lucas W.
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Weaver.
Yes. All right, moving on, quotes for drywalling inside City Hall. Donna, this is for the room where the cash register is and the front.
And the hallway,
Front
where the
hallway
people stand.
where people come in.
Yeah, front entry.
And we've got one
That's your office room?
from Greg Janda.
We have one in our capital outlay that we kind of put towards this. We didn't have enough for the room, so we'll wait till maybe next budget year and do our office, hopefully.
We'll budget something, so
So we got $850 from Greg Janda and $870 from Mel McNutt.
yeah, I want to, you want to find, there's two, can I do this?
Well, I think, yeah, there's a 1/4 inch drywall and then there's 3/8, which is thicker.
Yeah, and then there's also the molding. That's the only difference I see between the two. And the one for $850 is just going to use the existing molding. The one on for $870 will replace where needed. Therefore, if you ruin it when you take it off, you'll put new molding on.
Right.
For $20.
Well, the other thing is, on that front room, 1/4 inch drywall, the fire rating isn't as good. You know, since should something happen in that front room where there's a fire, 3/8 is, I think, an hour rated. So, you know, it is much better drywall and for $20, it's definitely, and basically all we're paying for is the better material.
Plus he's covering the extending the electrical plugs and switches as well.
Right.
Which can be,
So, I mean, it can be your, whatever these prices are close enough within $20 that I believe it's worth it to get the better drywall, the trim replaced, the extended electrical plugs and switches. You know, it's all laid out in here. Anybody have any questions? Comments?
Is there only 2 quotes you're able to get?
Yeah.
Anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make the motion, we have no McNutt do this,
Support.
this office work.
Lukasar,
Yes.
Lucas W.
Yes.
Davis,
yes,
Parker,
Yes.
Stoops,
yes.
Weaver,
Sure.
Wilson.
All right, next, police department, invoice from IT Right. This is our computer IT company that does work for us. Now, this is our annual service contract with them,
Yes,
and it's in the budget.
yes.
This is just a budgeted annual service contract. It's one of those expenses over $300 that we even approved in the budget, but we have to reapprove now. So, anybody have any questions on it? Can I get a motion to approve the invoice from IT Right for the police department?
I'll make a motion, we allow the police department to pay IT Right the $2,500 invoice.
Support,
Lucas W.
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Stoops,
yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Lukasar.
Yes.
Next is invoice for fire department from Apollo Fire Apparatus Repair. Apparently it's, they came here to repair oil leak, floodlights, warning lights, auto eject for not working power ignition wires broken off that starter.
Yeah, and I think we've still got over $4,000 in repair and maintenance in it, as a line item, so.
So this is an invoice for $611.13.
How can you tell which vehicle was in?
Well, I don't know if he listed that vehicle.
It's
truck
R2. It's
Oh, it's
R2
it's
there.
R2, yeah.
Where's it at?
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right there.
Rescue two?
Yep.
Rescue 1, I'll give you a picture of Rescue 2 here. Water 1, Rescue 2, it's on the big rescue, the one he was talking about.
Get rid of?
Getting rid of, possibly. So, all right.
Yep.
Can I get a motion to pay that invoice?
I'll make the motion.
I'll support it.
Davis,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Lukasar,
Yes.
Lucas W.
Yes.
All right, next is a CD renewal.
Or for all of $20. That's something.
Yeah, for about $250,000, $20.
Yeah, just think that I used to be.
Now, didn't we
20
start rotating these?
Yes, we are.
We
This
This
rotated
one we
one of
left
them,
at
and
6
this one we
months,
left.
America we left it, turned to a year.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah,
all
so
right.
this
So every
is,
6 months one comes?
Every 6 months this one will come,
Yeah.
and America will come once a year.
Okay.
yeah, this is something we used to get about $25,000 a year in interest, so.
Wow, $20.
Yeah,
Now it's down to 20
Well,
bucks?
the only alternative is put it under a mattress.
They see the economy's getting better.
So I guess,
Break even,
can I
right?
get a motion to renew this 6-month CD with CSB Bank?
I'll make that motion.
Or,
That's sad.
Sad, you're right there.
very sad.
Parker,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Sukasar,
Yes.
SukasW,
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
All right, next is Superintendent Dunsmore, in regards to his cell phone.
Yeah, I didn't, what
Did
is
he
that?
tell you?
No,
Okay.
he didn't call me, no.
He said last year, I think it was when Tim was still fire chief, they asked for a cell phone raise because they used their phones.
Right.
And they gave Tim 40 and Bart didn't need it at the time, so he opted out. And he said now with everything that's been going on this year, he's been overusing and spending more money, so he wants to know if he can get,
Yeah, he's
The
been calling me on a
$40
different
too.
cell phone because
yeah,
he's
he's
out of minutes.
rotating with the
his.
guys, trying to
Yeah.
Yeah,
save.
keep it under, yeah.
So he just wants to know if we can
Yeah.
up his to $40 also, like he was asked last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we were gonna do it when we did Tim's, and he said, no, I don't need it right now, I'm fine. But if he does, I think we should do it.
Well,
We
this
should
has
have done it when we
been,
did
this
Tim's.
has been quite a hectic year with what's going on. I talk to him 2 or 3 times a day as a rule myself, so.
So I can get a motion
I'll
to
I'll
make
make a
his.
motion that we approve the increase up to $40.
Support it.
Stoops,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Sukasar,
Yes.
SukasW,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Parker.
Yes.
Next is a touchy issue, it's water and sewer rates. We're looking at our water and sewer rates and we have a debt service coming off at the beginning of the fiscal year, basically. So we had asked Larry and the DPW committee to work on the possibility of, when that debt service comes off, to increase the water rates while our people who receive the bills still see a savings on their bill. We'll see an increase in the money going into water
Would
and
you
sewer.
like me to kind of just
Yep,
review
go
this a
ahead.
little bit?
Go ahead, Larry.
I'm just gonna, I did a recap of everything here too, but I think I'll do is just simplify it, maybe, hopefully try to make it a little more pithy. Schedule A just basically says how is a schedule that reflects what our revenue versus expenses. And if you look for the last 6 years, our expenses have exceeded our revenue. Not quite as much the last 2 years because we did have a price increase in October 1st of 2011. But we're still reflecting higher expenses than revenue. 2011 and 12 was 29,000, and 2012-13 was about 24,000. Depreciation, of course, you read that back in because it's a non-cash expense. It's depreciation on an asset. So when we put those back in, we did have a slight money going back into the water and sewer fund. Okay, the second one is kind of an important one. That's Schedule B. I took that, take that and I put it into general maintenance, which should be paid out of the funds you receive every year. And then the major improvements in the second column, which would be financed out of general obligation bonds, such as if we had to do major infrastructure and or lagoon maintenance, which would come up probably with sometime maybe in the next 15, 20 years. And that would, I put $1 million plus, that would probably, could go even up to $2 million. That would have to be financed out of general obligation bonds. So go back to the general maintenance. These are things that we'll have to do, and I put an estimated years in some of those. Inspection will have to be done this next fiscal year. The tank epoxy interior wet, done 2 and 5 years, that's about 32,000. Exterior and dry interior about 40. The major one would probably have to come up somewhere within the next 20 years. That's when you strip everything and redo it. that cost probably $170,000. But that's maybe 15, 20 years down the road. Our water meters were installed in 2001. Sometime within the next 3 or 5 years, we'll probably have to replace all those. That would run about $25,000. And lagoons, fencing, the state has mentioned that should be secured.
Do you have 1,000 feet of fence on there?
No,
Is that- or is that
not
10,000?
9,000.
Oh, 9,000.
Yeah, and we just got a kind of an estimate on what that might cost. I think we might try to do a couple 100 feet this year with a gate as it goes in the entrance, and we'll address that later. Your well pumps, we have 3 of them. Normally you have to do them every 5 years, 15,000 each. Lift station, that's kind of a major expense. We got these 4 with 2 pumps in each station. When you have to do those and complete replacement of controls and pumps, you're talking about $50,000. And so 4, that's over 20 years, 200,000 there. Any infrastructure, is that similar to the general obligation bonds that we just got through, or will be having paid off June 1st? That would have to be covered probably under issuing bonds as we did in the past. Park lift station, we do need a permanent generator there. We have looked at that the last couple of years or so, as of 28,000. So we may look at that and maybe try to do that next year. So this is kind of the major expenses, or the general maintenance that we could have anywhere from the next fiscal year through maybe 20 years. That totals about $700,000, so that's significant.
And he doesn't mention on here anywhere that at any moment we could have a $20,000 water main break.
Oh,
like
yes,
that.
yeah, you can,
Okay.
or if you had a major backup on something, where sewer line or something, you could spend $100,000 just to snap of your fingers. So I think it's very important that we got to address that issue. So
How much do we spend just thawing out people this year?
I don't know.
I don't think we got everything in yet.
No,
It's probably at least
Yeah, so-
$12,000-$15,000.
well, we had a major break last year down on Main Street there, and I think that was somewhere between 12 and 15,000.
And we had the break just on the end of Bell River Road that they still haven't repaired the road from
over
yet.
there, yes, yeah. We've had three major wire main breaks this year so far. So the next one is Schedule C, and I took water rates and I put them in increments of 60 cents per thousand increase. And the DPW committee, we had a committee meeting, and we kind of discussed that the minimum should be 80 cents, the maximum $1. And we kind of recommend $1 or 80 cents, but certainly open to discussion on that. When you look at the costs that we may have to spend over the next 15, 20 years, that I mean, we maybe should go to $1. But anyway, we can discuss that just a little later. For instance, now let's just look at the dollar here, because it's kind of halfway down. Based on the current usage, if we went $1, the amount we collect on a year would be approximately $24,000. On sewer, it'd be $20,000. As you know, the people that got water, but there's less that's got sewer. And so we collect total in estimated somewhere around $44,000 more per year. Now, the customer would save approximately $46,000 over what they're spending now, because we're retiring the debt. The debt will be, we usually collect approximately $90,000 a year. And so even though the water rate would go up, the savings to the customer collectively would be $46,000. So now what would that go back into our water and sewer fund? It would be approximately $20,000 a year. And then when you add back depreciation, because I said that's a non-cash expense, it's a cost of doing business, or a cost, but it's not a cash expense. So you approximately put about $60,000 a year back into that.
Now, some of you may be confused on all this, because he's throwing a bunch of numbers around.
I am, and
Everything else is-
I know, I understand it.
Let me
but- so-
explain to you the way I see it.
Yep.
Right now, with the debt service, we're paying $6.60. So we've got $2 that the debt service will drop off of our water bills, $2 per 1,000 gallons. The way I see it is, no matter what we raise, as long as we don't hit that $2, our people in our community win. I'm real big on let's play Solomon here, draw a line right down the middle, let the community have $1 per 1,000 gallons back and keep $1 per 1,000 gallons into our maintenance and into our fund to run the department. That seems fair to everybody. Everybody wins.
Yeah.
I know he's saying 80 cents to $1, but I just think, you know what, let's just draw a line right down the middle and we're gonna save, or we're gonna get the extra money that people save,
Yeah. So,
Half of it.
half of it,
Basically,
right.
they're gonna save the same thing that we
Yeah.
end up getting,
Now,
you know.
just one other thing I'll just address, and the water debt, right now, we have, the water debt that's coming due, and I'll just round this off, we're gonna pay June 1st, is $87,000. We have collected a little over 78,000, so we need, for the next quarter, the quarter that ends at the end of March 31st, we need to collect another, I'm just rounding it off, about $8,600. The next quarter then would actually drop down because we wouldn't be collecting in the next quarter. So what I think and what the committee recommends then, that we make this increase effective April 1st for the last quarter of this year. And so then the money we are collecting this quarter would be only slightly increased for the next quarter, and then that would continue on from now on, unless we we review it again down the road 3 or 4 years.
So you want to do this increase effective April,
Yes.
not effective once this drops off in June?
This is gonna drop off.
We'll have the money this next month.
We'll have that for this quarter. We'll have the money collected March 31st.
So the debt service is gonna drop off March
Yeah, it'd
31st?
be, well, we won't.
I don't wanna
Oh,
change the
no,
rate before the debt service
No,
is dropped off.
No, it will. The debt service will be collected March, with the quarter ending March 31st.
Okay.
It'll be.
It'll be totally done.
Totally done.
Okay.
It won't be paid to June 1st.
Right.
But it'll be, the money will be collected.
So they'll see a savings on the June 1st bill.
They will see a savings this quarter.
Okay, yeah, I'm fine with that. Okay.
All right, so that's why, okay, now, so that's,
So,
And
I
I
guess we need to make a decision on what
Yeah.
type of number we're looking at.
right now, so I have other schedules, but I don't think I have to address it. I think I hopefully have explained it so you understand it. Maybe you don't, because figures can be complicated, I know that. But I've worked with them all my life, so, but.
Well, I guess, does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, just so.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
Okay.
For the debt service,
yeah,
our April bill is the last time we're paying it.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
And then when will the increase go in effect?
It
On
will-
our April
it-
bill
it will-
or on our July bill?
On your
And
July
on
bill.
July bill effective
Yeah.
April 1st.
Yeah,
Okay.
it'll, yeah.
So it won't necessarily, it won't be an increase, it will actually be a decrease.
It'll
You'll
be
see a
right.
savings. Everyone will see a savings with this increase.
Yeah.
It'll be
It's not as big a
So they
decrease
won't
as
know
it
what's
would be.
going on.
Yeah, matter of fact, they should be happy when they see their water bill saving, and if we bring it up $1, if we bring it up 80 cents, the community will save $1.20 per 1,000 gallons. If we bring it up $1, they'll save $1
Yeah.
per 1,000 gallons.
So I.
DPW committee recommends 80 cents a gallon, or 80 cents a thousand, and that's what I will vote yes on, not $1.
Anybody else have anything to say about it?
I would do the dollar.
And you,
I'll go for the $1.
Scott?
Then this recommendation by the committee is wrong?
No, we went both ways on it, and I have no, either way, I would go either way on it. I think the minimum should be, I think the
need
minimum
to-
should be 80 cents, but I would.
Stop hitting the people over the head with raises.
Well, it says a minimum, that they recommend a minimum of
Yeah.
80 cents.
Yeah, we recommend a minimum of that, but,
Because before you know it, you're gonna be going and buying bonds, and then you're gonna have this rate, plus you're gonna have more debt service. So,
well, I want people to understand too, that the water and sewer department is not financed out of the general fund. The water and sewer department has to be maintained and sustained separately by the rates and revenue we receive. I think when I started here, I think the water rates were 220. It was hardly sustaining itself. Bart was holding out, doing repairs and maintenance that should have been done. And over the years, we've tried to make this more sustainable.
Larry, are you for making this $1?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I say that, we discussed it, and we said that minimum has to be at 80 cents. But I just know, and the other thing is the accountants have been after us to do this.
For a
as
long
well,
time.
for a long
Every budget year,
Yeah.
or every audit, they come
The
through and
auditor
say
says-
you're upside
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
But of course, they are, what he was talking about, they're putting depreciation in there.
Yeah,
But that depreciation, what it does is plans for, the fact that as our system ages, we're gonna have more maintenance and more maintenance to do.
yeah.
We've got to plan for that and have the money, start setting some money aside for that cost. It's a simple fact. You've
Yeah.
gotta have reserves for replacements.
And I think even our MML, our insurance carrier, is suggested that, we're a little bit low on our, on the funds we have in the water and sewer, because they're afraid any major thing, and which we don't want the state coming in and mandating it's too low, which they could, if it's not sustaining itself. It is, don't get me wrong, it is sustaining itself. It's just that we're not really putting enough back into that for a major emergency that comes up. And I guess I should state another thing, and I think maybe most of you know it, that when we put the arsenic plant in, we took out 213,000 out of that fund and borrowed 150,000, which is paid off, by the way. And
Yeah, actually, we'll be debt-free as soon as this
June
debt service
1st,
is paid off.
June 1st, this city will be debt-free, June 1st, so that's right.
Good.
So, okay, well, you know what, I'm open to whatever motion somebody would like to make on this. We need a motion to proceed to raise whatever we're gonna raise the fees, effective April 1st, so.
I'll make that motion if we raise the rates.
How much?
$2.
$1?
Okay.
$1
Make it
per
effective
1,000
date.
gallon?
Would you make it an
April
effective
1st.
date? Yeah.
I support.
Weaver,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Zukasar,
Yes.
ZukasW,
Yes.
Davis,
no.
Parker,
Yes.
Stoops.
Yes.
Okay, I got Weaver, Wilson, Zukasar, ZukasW, Davis, and Stoops, yes. Parker and Stoops, yes. Davis, no. So motion carried.
All right. Other new business. I know I have some other new business. First of all, from the mayor, I've got a letter and I told Justin I'd like to read this to the city council. The city of Yale is very grateful for your assistance to our fire department on February 11th, 2014 at South Main Street. Tremendous support and coordination was needed to battle a blaze that was clearly on display that day. Despite the difficult conditions caused by the cold weather and power lines located so close to the rear of the structure, all responding personnel worked together to confine the fire in one building and save a significant portion of our downtown. Enclosed, you will find a resolution passed by the City Council expressing our appreciation for your department's invaluable assistance in a highly volatile and dangerous situation. Please extend to all of your personnel who were involved our sincere thanks, and should your department ever need help, we will surely respond. It says, whereas the City of Yale Fire Department was established in 1905, and whereas on February 11, 2014, the department was called to a reported fire at 17 South Main Street in downtown Yale. Whereas upon arrival, it found a 54-foot by 122-foot building centered in downtown area, which was indeed burning, and whereas the effects of the Yale Fire Department volunteers
with the assistance of personnel from numerous surrounding fire departments, the fire was confined to just one building, saving a significant portion of the downtown area. It is therefore now to be resolved, the City of Yale Committee, on behalf of the citizens of Yale, officially express our deep appreciation for the outstanding and professional work of the Yale Fire Department volunteers, along with the assistance of the firefighters from the responding departments. It is also further resolved, the resolution to present it to our chief, Donald Priest III, and mailed to all departments responding to the fire. So, that's very nice. And actually, you can put that in the file if you want. Let's see. So, our fire department was thanked tremendously for their efforts in helping Yale save their downtown. Next, I have a brief thing that I'd like all of you to look at and review, and if you can, sign and bring back into the city council, our chambers, back to the clerk. Basically, as city councilmen, and we've got a couple new ones, we have the access to private information of individuals that should not be, whether it's financial or whether it's medical. We come across private things as citizens, or as city councilmen. And I've also asked all my department heads to have all their departments sign a pledge of confidentiality and protect the citizens of the city. So if you grab one and pass it down. What it says is, I certify that and put your name, as an employee, volunteer, or board member of the city of Memphis, understand that any information, written, verbal, or other form, obtained during performance of my duty must remain confidential. This includes all information about employees, board members, and volunteers and their family and associate organizations, as well as any information otherwise marked or known to be confidential. I understand that any unauthorized release or carelessness in handling of confidential information is considered a breach of my duty to maintain confidentiality. I further understand that any breach of duty to maintain confidentiality could be grounds for immediate dismissal or possible liability and legal action arising from such breach. And not that anything has happened, we just need to make sure that everybody knows that they have a responsibility to keep confidential information confidential. It does open the city up to liability when people find out certain things. So if you could all take these home, review them, and if you're comfortable signing it, bring it in, sign it, give it to Donna, and I will sign it, and we'll keep it on file. I'm actually going to sign one of these myself. So I appreciate your cooperation in that. Other than that, that's all I have. Larry?
No, I have nothing tonight.
I have nothing, thank you.
I have a concern over the sidewalk by the police station all the way in front of the Bell Terrace Apartments.
Is it in front of the police station there's a problem?
Yes, on
On Potter
Did it
side.
heave?
the north.
Is that what happened? Basically, when it freezes, sometimes they'll heave up.
No, they're low. They're real low. I was walking and I thought the water was shallow, and my whole foot went
Well,
deep
under
into the.
the ordinance, property owners are responsible for the sidewalk in front of their property. That would include us as a city. If the sidewalk in front of the police station is bad, we definitely need to have Bart take a look at it and give us an idea of how to fix it. It does need to be fixed. So, thank you for bringing that to our attention. You said also in front of Bell River Terrace there?
Yeah, I mean, it's bad, right where that big tree is. I know the fence cuts off kind of the property with the police department and the Bell Terrace, but that, right there, that area is pretty bad. And that's where the hump is.
Well, and
it goes real low and it's.
I know I'd asked Bart at one point, there are sidewalks all over town that need attention. But, we try not to force our people, especially in the hard financial times, to have to repair a sidewalk.
So it is the homeowner's responsibility to repair the sidewalk?
Yes, it is.
It's in our
Completely the responsibility of whoever's property is adjacent to that sidewalk. Even me, my property ends before it gets to the sidewalk, but I'm responsible for the sidewalk in front of my house, in front of my property.
Now, what determines on when repairs need to be done?
Well, I had asked Bart at one point to get a inventory of the problems in town, because like I said, we have multiple. And the only issue that I had was the fact that in doing that, we may have to go around town and tell 30 homeowners, look, you need to repair this piece of sidewalk, and at unknown expense to them.
Didn't we used to split the costs on that?
I don't know if we did, but it
When
doesn't,
you
under
gotta
law,
have a part of your sidewalk replaced?
under law, it says that they're totally responsible under our ordinance.
There's another spot that's
Must have been in a different city.
Yeah, and I mean, I can tell you, even my wife doesn't agree with the fact that we don't own the property the sidewalk's on, but we're responsible for the property. I hear it all the time. Why don't you do something about that? I'm like, wait, now, it's, everybody's treated the same, and that's something we try to do, is treat everybody equally. The thing I had a problem with, even though we do need sidewalks fixed, is in times when unemployment is so high, when people are fighting to make ends meet, to come in and say, hey, you need to spend $800 fixing a public sidewalk that the public can walk on,
This-
even though they're required by law to do it.
The spot over here, me and my daughter were riding our bikes. She was in front of me, and there's so much sand built up on top of the sidewalk. She literally stopped right into that sand, and I had to stop, and I hit her. I flipped over my handlebars. It was a scary situation,
Right.
and I understand that, you
Do
know.
you have a helmet on?
so- What's that?
Do you have a helmet on? when you put
That's a
the
law too, by
handlebars?
the way.
What?
Wear a helmet.
It's a law.
That's a law?
Yeah, sure
It
is.
is.
You didn't know that?
It's supposed to say "duh-duh-duh" on the side of it.
My 2 cents, real quick on that sidewalk thing, when I lived in St. Clair Shores, they would send out a crew, repair the sidewalks and hand you a bill. They didn't give you the option of repairing it in your own time, they just went and did it. So I'm cool with repairing it myself in my own time. Plus you gotta wait till winter's over before you can do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, and this winter has messed up a lot of concrete and a lot of, I mean, you go to a regular store and you'll see their sidewalk sunk or heaved in front of the store. There was one at a department store, the door wouldn't even open because the sidewalk had bumped up in front, or a restaurant. I was at the Ruby Tuesdays down in Chesterfield.
There was the same way, it's the sidewalk over here.
The sidewalk had raised up and their door wouldn't even open. So, I mean, this spring, you know, we're gonna have a lot of cleanup, not just the sidewalks, the roadways. The roads, this has been horrible. This winter has been horrible to them. You come on Bell River Road down the hill above the DPW, and it's, I mean, there are so many holes. It's
Keep it
ridiculous.
potholed, it slows people down.
So, I mean, there are so many potholes, it's ridiculous right up in that area. And, you know, I've always worried about that when it does snow, that those potholes fill with ice and we've got kids coming into school and speeding on the roads, and we're gonna have an accident. But, you know, there's a lot of things that this spring cleanup is gonna require, and we don't have the funds for it, but, you know, we do need to look at a lot of roadways, sidewalks, parking lots, all kinds of stuff needs to be repaired. Anything else? Frank, you got anything?
Nothing doing.
Scott?
Mine was like a small complaint, and not that it might be a problem again, a great issue. Somebody complained about the sidewalk back here behind the water tower. Part wasn't plowed, wasn't cleaned off. And I believe that's our property.
It probably is. Like, in front of the water tower? Like
Yeah,
on
the long stretch there.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely our property.
Yeah, I don't, from what I was told.
You know, and that does bring up something. Luckily, it's probably melted now.
Yeah, but I just, it's.
I did get a complaint. I don't even remember what it was about, but it was anonymous. We have a complaint policy. We do not accept anonymous complaints. I filed it in file number 13, which is my garbage can. If somebody has to complain, please get online, get a copy of our complaint policy, come in, get a copy of our complaint policy, fill it out, sign it, and get it back to us. I'm willing to listen to any complaint, but you know what? Anonymous complaints, they really bother me. If you can't complain and stand up and say, hey, I'm the person complaining about it, don't complain. So,
I got one more problem. All right, you know, back when Scott had mentioned about the whistle for the fire department going off, letting people know there's emergencies.
right.
I was out front of Johnny's Market talking to Johnny, and we have such a tight corner right here at Potter Street. And the volunteer, I mean, I know they got to get to the fire department, but I mean, they're from the stoplight. I mean, they're flying, and so when they turn the corner, they're squealing their tires for braking,
Right.
to get around that corner. I'm just concerned, you know, one day, you know, being such a tight corner, people pulling up there, somebody's gonna get hit, and obviously.
Hopefully not.
I know,
But
but I just, is there any way, like, what about of the route, maybe taking the backside here on Boardman?
I don't know. You know what?
I mean,
I'm
I'm
more than
not-
happy, I'm more than happy to let the fire committee look at that one, if you guys are.
I just, you know, I mean, it's just
You
a
know.
concern of accidents happening.
Well-
I think the fire whistle should blow during the day.
Well, you know, I
Let people
do
know.
too. As I said, the county, or I think Justin told us the county took over control of that fire whistle. It's done from the county level now. We don't do it from the city level.
It has nothing to do with the bed and breakfast.
Yeah, at
No,
nighttime-
at first
nighttime,
it did,
I'm fine with
but
it.
then,
At first
then they
it
came
was
along,
not
then the
anymore.
county came along with their new system and they took over. They put a digital, some kind of digital system in there to control it, and we don't control it anymore.
Somebody says Emmett still uses theirs.
Maybe they haven't put the digital system in with them. I don't know.
That's just, I'm not criticizing the fire department.
Well, I'm more than
Anything
happy,
that,
I'm more than
just
happy
concerned
if
by the-
it be the city council's discretion to have the fire committee look at the siren issue and bring back a recommendation to council. I'm okay with that if you guys are. Any questions? Would anybody like to see that happen or not?
I would most definitely, I raised it when I was head of
Okay.
that committee.
Well, then I say we, somebody make a motion to send it to fire committee and somebody support it, we'll vote on it.
My neighbors all say the same thing, they want that whistle back on during the day. All my neighbors say.
And I've had many neighbors mention that to me.
No motion?
I'll make that motion. Lower the board.
Who would support? Wilson,
No.
Sukasar,
Yes.
Dukas W,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Weaver.
Well, as I said, when the whistle was blown and it was taken off, I think it's a management issue that we shouldn't get into, so I'm gonna vote no as well.
Yeah, I think it is too.
Okay, got Sukasar, Sukas W, Davis, Parker, Stoops, yes, Wilson and Weaver, no, so motion carried.
We'll look at it.
All right. The fire truck, fire committee's gonna meet on that. Actually,
We'll do
questions
that
about
at
that,
one time.
we're going to hopefully, actually, we're gonna go ahead and schedule a city council meeting for Thursday at 6:30 to discuss the fire truck. He's got to get more information together on it.
And they're gonna review it.
And they're gonna
tomorrow.
review it tomorrow night at the fire or the fire department meeting, and bring back, the fire department recommendation. He's already talked individually to the fire committee. And then we're gonna have a special meeting on Thursday at 6:30
To review it.
to review it and make a recommendation.
6:30?
Yes,
Yeah.
make a recommendation of whether they buy that fire truck or not. So,
And if
we
it's-
can
if
discuss
it's
it all
still
then.
available, it might not be available.
Might not be available
By then,
because
but-
this was a new listing and everybody's jumping on it.
Yeah.
It's, right now, our 1996 fire truck has got to either be retrofitted and redone in 2016, which is 3 years. And
I
this
think it
one,
was-
this
yeah,
one
I
has
think it
been
was-
totally
yeah.
redone in 2007, so it's good to 2027. So we'll be adding years, and you're looking at it, this is a $425,000 vehicle. That would replace 2 of our vehicles, and we could probably be only 15,000 into it, once we're said and done, 15 to 20.
Yeah, we'll get that Thursday night. This has been all
So-
refurbished.
And is the garage gonna be big enough to hold that baby?
Yes, and that's one
Oh, yeah,
reason,
that's
one reason he was really
small,
pushing it
yeah.
is because height-wise and length-wise, it's
Yeah.
a perfect fit, so. He'll bring all that forward, and we'll have that special meeting on Thursday on that. Okay, anything else, Scott?
Nope.
You got anything, Bill?
No.
I move to go into executive session